Yes, there is logic in what you're saying.
No, come on. Are you kidding? I'm just stupid. Who did you come to kill? Nazis? NATO members?
NATO members. Hitler gradually occupied Germany.
Hitler couldn't occupy Germany.
Well, my parents said it's a pity, you should have broken your legs, then they would definitely give you leave and everything.
Do you have a wife, kids?
A wife.
Huh. And you don't want to call her? Let them all suffer. It's a damn tradition. 60 people were supposed to stop a 5,000 strong army.
That's how it was.
There were guys here who talked about, you know it yourself, drinking urine and eating human flesh.
We didn't eat human flesh, but we did drink water from puddles.
Or rather, some neighbor will find you. From your home. For 200,000 rubles, it will just make you a vegetable. Are you being too bold? Do you smoke?
I don't smoke.
Okay. But will you call?
No.
Why don't you want to?
I don't want to worry my parents.
Do you?
They have health problems.
So you'd rather have them suffer, thinking you're dead? Well, that's your logic.
No, of course not.
So, look, who are you really calling there? I don't care if you call or not. I'm just curious about your logic.
I understand now. My mother has heart problems.
And you think it will be easier for her not to talk to you? To see you alive?
Well, it's not easier, but I just don't want to call my parents often.
I honestly don't care. So, you won't?
No.
There you go.
Can I take off my cap?
Take it off. Hang it up.
Thank you.
That's a stupid thing to do. We're going to talk about this now. Are you Russian? Are you actually Russian?
Yes.
Or are you Russian by nationality?
Well, Russian roots.
What do you mean by Russian roots? And after that, not Russian?
Well, through my great-grandfather, grandfather, mother, father, like, we're on the Russian line.
On the Russian line?
Well, they came from Russia to Donbass. That's my great-grandfather. At that time, he was sent to help establish the village of Metallist, and he stayed there.
Where were you born?
I was born in Donetsk.
Oh! A Donetsk guy. Good. If you survive, you'll be a father. Assuming, right? Well, unless something happens to you, because you are potentially MIA. You want to be exchanged, right?
Yes.
Well, you know what will happen to you next, all those
Yes.
things. Aha. Let's model a situation. Your son went to war and disappeared. You're sitting at home. What would you do? Tell me.
First of all, I go to the military office to find out his status and everything else.
They say he's missing.
Missing. But I still try to reach out. Because
Where? Who are you trying to reach?
even to the military unit itself, because
They send you off. Well, you know how it works with you. Have you talked to other prisoners? Sure. Why not?
I just haven't asked such a question.
Huh. You come to the unit. Where's my son? They tell you. You got a paper that says he's missing. Get lost. That's how it goes for you, I know.
Yes.
What do you do next?
Next, I try to find. Let's say people who deal with missing persons, and I try to get in touch with them.
Why do you need this?
So basically to find out what's going on with my child.
Because you care about him?
Yes.
Okay. You write to bloggers who interview prisoners.
Well, yes, bloggers and people who are involved in searching. They have their own program, their own network.
Well, you know that doesn't work.
Well, honestly, no, I don't know.
I just told you that. It doesn't work for you.
Not at all.
No. How do you imagine it? They'll let a civilian wear to the war. To do what?
No, not that I'd go to war, but there's this.
Yes, there are groups on Telegram where everyone writes.
Yes.
And now look. Second. So you're searching, suffering, wondering, where's my son?
Yes.
And your son is sitting in captivity. He has the only chance during captivity to call. You won't have this chance again. And he thinks, nah, let my old man keep suffering. Am I interested? Let him suffer. Let him run around, knocking on doors. Let him lose sleep at night, because I'm such a cool guy. I don't want to call home.
Yes, there is logic in what you're saying.
No, come on. Are you kidding? I'm just stupid. I don't even know how it works. So, you're actually here to kill us, right?
That's correct.
Let's skip all this talk. You can swear nothing will happen to you for it. We're on YouTube, we can do that. By the way, do you consent to the recording and publication of this conversation?
Yes.
Oh, important. Speak into the broken Samsung. Introduce yourself. Last name, first name, patronymic. Samsung, hold on, please.
My name is Vladislav.
This is confidential information. You don't need it.
Need it. So, that's that. I was born in Donetsk.
Хорошо. All right. Let your dad suffer here, right? I don't care that he's not sleeping, running around, banging on doors. Let him worry. Imagine me without legs, without arms, in some Nazi captivity. There aren't even humans here, right? Who did you come to kill? Nazis? NATO members?
NATO members.
NATO members. Have you seen even one?
I haven't.
Did you really go to kill a NATO member?
No. But our commander told us that on the front lines, it's mostly NATO troops rather than Ukrainian. Because he says we practically never notice them.
Why were you told that?
I don't know. That's all there is to it.
Think. What's your name again?
Vlad.
Vlad, think. You weren't put here just to give the command to open your mouth and eat, but also to think and then speak. Why haven't you seen any NATO members? Think, Vlad.
Because they don't exist.
So that's how it is with us. Eyes. Gotcha. You know what's funny? The thing is, our guys who are defending their own homes from people like you never get the chance to call home. And they've never had it. There are guys who've been held prisoners since 2022 and haven't called home even once. Because you're Russia, the one that came here. Do you know what convention it's living by? You've read the Geneva Convention, right? No, it's living by. Huh?
We were told that we sort of withdrew from the Geneva Convention.
Who told you that?
We don't follow it.
You don't follow it, but you haven't withdrawn from it.
The commander, if I'm not mistaken, and even my platoon and company commanders said they don't follow the Geneva Convention. Neither side follows it. Therefore, if there's a moment when you end up captured, in your right mind, let's say if you consciously get captured, it's better to blow yourself up.
Why didn't you blow yourself up?
Because I wasn't even conscious.
And after that, why didn't you do it?
That was it for me. I'd already been taken by that point.
You live by the 1947 Convention. 1947. It's convenient to live by a convention where there's no concept of a phone. Because back then, there was no such thing. IP telephony, calling home mobile phones. And if your Tsar had signed this modern convention, which states that a prisoner of war, a soldier, must call home at least 2 times a month.
Well, I understand, but I'm not the one who makes these laws.
Of course, not you. You went to kill a NATO member, but there aren't any. So it turns out we got screwed, huh? Or not? And it turns out the commander is also screwing you over with the convention since you signed it. And you're living by it, but only from 1947. Even though there are other versions from 2008 and 2017, I think. But he didn't sign them. Think.
Could you tell the story, please? Because
Are you aware that during?
politics, not really.
Of course, you were only interested in NATO people. Do you know that prisoners of war during World War II, do you know the difference between World War II and the Great Patriotic War?
Yes,
What's the difference?
they ended differently. And not only that.
Well, they ended differently.
Well, World War II, if I'm not mistaken, ended in 1946.
Let's try another way. When did it start?
World War II began with from 1939 to 1946.
From 39. When? And what happened there?
It started when Hitler gradually occupied Germany.
Hitler couldn't occupy Germany.
Oh, sorry. You're right. And gradually, together with us, they under the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, they already captured Poland.
Why do they know? Where did you learn this?
I read it.
The Russians don't know this, but he does.
It's written in the 9th grade history textbook used in Russia.
It's not written like that in the Russian one.
We read it in our class.
You're lying. You didn't read it. I have your book. In Russian. History doesn't say anything about an invasion of Poland in 1939. No, don't lie.
But we also studied the Finnish one there.
Yes, but there's no invasion there. And you can go and ask 99 prisoners. They'll say, we never invaded Poland. Germany treacherously attacked us in 1941. That's what 99 out of 100 prisoners say. I didn't make it up. They must have a different book. Well, the point is they didn't sign because they would have had to answer for it. And during World War II, soldiers from other armies, not the USSR, were in completely different conditions. They had packages, the Red Cross, all that stuff. But the Russians didn't have it because they weren't part of the convention. Do you understand? Well, because it wasn't advantageous for Stalin. And in the same camp, in one barrack, you could have Americans who basically had it pretty good. And in the neighboring barrack, across the barbed wire, there were Russians who were eating each other. And the Americans received packages from home, could write letters because the Germans adhered to the convention terms, knowing there were German soldiers also in captivity who had to receive corresponding packages. You understand, right? The Russians didn't need it because you're not the elite. You're the meat that should perish. And your commander told you. If you get captured, blow yourself up, idiot. No worries, you'll probably see him soon when you're swapped and go again.
No, I won't see him, he died.
Well, they'll give you another one instead. Seen the biomosquito. Just a simple cargo, 200. No worries, we'll issue another one. Another commander will be telling you then.
Our whole company died. The only ones left with us are the company commander and the battalion commander.
How many of you croaked?
I can't say by count. Well, the company.
100 people?
Less. There were about 60 of us.
See, the company isn't full. Alright, so where did the 60 of you end up? Well, we'll get to that.
To the cauldron.
So 60 of you went. And how many? 200.
Of those, the irrecoverable losses, the seriously wounded 300s who are unlikely to come back are... there are about 15 survivors who might return around. Or 10 people.
The rest 200.
The rest 200.
That's good. Well, that's great.
Of course not.
Why not? 35 people are in the 200s. Is that bad? And well, basically 35,200 plus 15. Basically, I assume the disabled, amputees, right?
For the unit we were in, let's say those are monstrous losses. It's really painful.
So why? You went for this. You wanted this yourselves. You went to kill NATO soldiers. You haven't seen a single NATO soldier.
Not a single one.
Not a single one.
I haven't even seen a single Ukrainian, to be honest, all this time.
Imagine, you're seeing me now.
Yes.
Now I'll touch you, infect you. Hallelujah. Damn it. Baptized you. What? Glad, right?
Yes.
Do you know what conclusion I'm drawing? About the reluctance, not refusal, but reluctance to call your father, to your mother. What do you think?
That they might turn out to be different. A bit too much.
No, I'm drawing a conclusion about you. I honestly don't care about them. I didn't know them, I don't know them, and I don't want to know them.
Then no, I can't.
Yes, you have brains, unlike the narrow-minded. It was made in Ukraine.
Because it might turn out to be completely, let's say, different from what, let's say, was expected.
Turn out to be what?
Well, that, for example, I haven't seen a single NATO, let's say, person here, even though my mom and dad might be surprised by this, like most people, let's say.
Again, I honestly don't care about them at all. I don't care about them. Don't care.
That's how it is.
I made one conclusion about you. And I want you to voice the conclusion that I have here. Say it. Take a guess. What do you think my conclusion about you is?
I can't say.
Why? It's actually really easy for you. We've already discussed this. For example, when you're a dad and your son is, well, in captivity, and he doesn't give a damn and doesn't want to call home.
In simple words, because he's foolish.
In simple words, you don't give a damn about your parents if you don't want to tell them that you're alive.
Well, I'm a little upset with them, to be honest.
What happened?
Well, it's just when I got out of that tough battle where our whole company was down.
Did they say to you, you survived?
No, not exactly. Oh well, I just had to go through a lot there, actually, during those 2 hours. And I then contacted my parents. I started calling to say that I'm alive. And they kept saying, "What's this? Won't they give you any leave or anything, like for treatment?" I said, "I don't have a really serious injury. They won't." Well, my parents said, "It's a pity. You should have broken your legs. Then they would definitely give you leave and everything." I sit there thinking, what are you talking about? What leave? I survived there, let's say. An assault, we're just making it out alive. You have to be, I don't know, something extraordinary. Blessed by God, and here. It became completely unpleasant. And I've had such cases more than once later in conversations with my parents. Let's say, not a particularly strong desire.
Do you know why they told you this?
Honestly, no, I don't know.
Think about it.
Well, Mom supposedly tried to prove to me that.
Your mom wanted to save you.
I know, but still,
It's so they could figure something out. If you had a broken leg or something like that, they could try to get you discharged from the army through the
I
hospital.
understand. But the thing is, I was in contact with my mom. Well, at that time I was telling her that it's really scary here and people die in such a way. Words can't describe it. I said, well, damn, how can you say that? I understand you want me well to get discharged by such a method or something like that. But I always said that if what you were talking about happened to me, I would never have gotten out of there alive.
That's good. Let's just say things are at a standstill. About your parents, sorry for the swearing. It's just how I am. What kind of education do you have?
Secondary technical,
What grade did you finish?
9 grades, and finished technical school.
Which technical school?
Mechanical engineering,
Specialty?
locksmith,
Locksmith. What year did you finish?
in 22.
In 22. Brothers, sisters,
I have a sister,
older.
younger.
Is she still in school?
She goes to school.
Got it? Good. That's good. That's clear. What do your parents do for work?
Mom works as an administrator at the Dmytro store. Dad works as a locksmith at Electromash.
How old is he?
My dad, 48.
Why isn't he fighting?
Honestly, I never asked that question.
Wasn't he mobilized in 2022?
He's not eligible for mobilization.
What's wrong with him?
He has health issues. He has frequent internal stomach bleeding.
Got it. Ulcers?
Yes.
Okay. How old were you in 2014?
14 years old.
14 years old. Did you live in Donetsk itself?
I lived in Donetsk until 2011, after which, in 2011, we moved to Russia with my family.
So you've been living there since 2011.
Yes.
Oh, then it's not interesting. I thought you. When was the last time you were in Donetsk?
I was last there in 2018.
How's the city there?
Nothing special. There were water issues. That time, I mostly lived in the village. I took care of my grandmother, visited her for the summer. I needed to help her. We mainly lived in the countryside. And the villagers, as you know, don't really need much. The only issue was the small pension. That's why we mostly.
Let's put it differently. Grandmother. In Donetsk, right?
Yes.
Do you talk to her?
Yes.
What did she tell you? Did it get better or worse when Russia came?
I never really asked that question, to be honest.
And what do you think?
I didn't ask her. I can't answer that. I didn't really live there, did I? Well, I have.
All right. I realize that he didn't really live there, so there's nothing to ask.
I just have nothing to
The
say.
previous one, talked with me. He's from Donetsk. Prisoner.
Yes, I understood.
You know who I'm talking about. Yes, Artem. His fiancée. His fiancée has gone a month without water. Did he tell you?
He didn't mention it.
No water for a month. And at his mom's, they get water every 3 days. People go to bathe in the river. and they get water wherever they can. Funny, the Russian world has come. In your heart, are you Russian or Ukrainian?
I consider myself Russian by roots, so I consider myself Russian.
So why did you move in 2011?
And my dad had already moved there even before that. He had acquaintances in Russia. He communicated closely with them.
Aha,
They told him there were openings here, like you're a good fit, especially with your experience. They'll take you easily, set up your salary properly, and everything will be fine. So my dad went there and talked it over with them.
and that's how it went?
And he moved, yes.
Did he get a good job?
Yes, he got a job. He worked there quite comfortably, so to speak. Then we bought our own apartment.
Aha,
That's it. Because before that, we lived in government housing.
aha. What did he do?
He worked as a foreman at the DMZ plant.
What's the DMZ plant?
Donetsk metallurgical plant.
When did you move there?
When he moved there, he got a job at Electromash. The plant produces various metallurgical products. They make anything you want there. They receive an order and they start working on it.
I see. Again, you're from 2000, right?
Yes,
And how did you end up in the war? Did you serve in the military?
there wasn't.
When did you sign the contract?
In January 2025.
That's 5, 6 months, 7 months.
Yes,
When did you finish trade school?
in 22.
What did you do between 22 and 25?
Studied, worked.
Do you have a wife, kids?
A wife.
Huh. And you don't want to call her? Let them all suffer. It's a damn tradition. Okay. I have the right to emotions.
Well, of course this.
I really don't get why you freeze up and don't call to say you're alive. And well, let them all suffer, worry, lose sleep, let them suffer and worry. Your choice. They will watch this conversation. Say hi to them.
I'm alive, healthy. Don't worry about me.
I'll probably post this video in a month or 2 or 3. Lived and worked, basically as a plumber.
Yes.
And what happened on January 25th?
I received a summons.
What was your last salary in December?
85,000.
Well, that's fine.
I got the summons because, well, you could say the military office was after me because I hadn't served a draft or anything like that. At that time, I didn't show up for several months. And when I came to the military office, they sent me to the main officer who supervises the military office, so to speak. I just don't remember his position. And they were about to charge me with being a draft dodger. And he started talking to me. Then some other guy came in and he started saying, he's going on a contract. He says, he's just like you. He's looking at 5 years just like you. But you have a chance to be free. It's to go on a contract. They'll have to send you off like reservists. And that's it. You'll serve a year there and then go back.
Why do I think you're lying to me?
I'm honestly telling you how it is.
Let's go over this again. When did they come to you and who came?
I got a summons saying I had to report to the military office. Right at the end of December. I came to the military office because...
Did the summons say why you had to show up?
It just said to appear. That's it. And the office number was listed. I went into the office and they started flipping through my personal file. They started asking me why I hadn't shown up this month.
And why didn't you show up?
I kind of blew off the military office because honestly, I found a decent job, settled down, started a family, and was gradually building a peaceful life. And I really didn't want to waste a year in the army.
Huh.
And that's it. The ladies looked at me and said, like, you go to the main officer now, explain everything. Like, we just don't really feel like dealing with you about this. There was another guy like me sitting there, and he was also being talked to about signing the contract. What they were talking about, I have no idea. The thing is, when I got there, he started talking to me and using him as an example, saying that he agreed, and now he won't have any legal problems, and he won't be charged as a draft dodger. Like, you have no other choice. We either declare you a draft dodger and you go to jail, or your only option is to sign the contract. And that's it.
How do you say this in Russian? When you don't know the laws, it's easy to fool you, right?
Well, to be honest, I don't know the laws.
Did you have any debts or loans?
No, never.
Then why did it take you so long to answer?
Well, I had one loan, but I paid it off quickly, that's all.
I still can't understand why. That's nonsense. All right, it's his story. That's how he tells it. What's your opinion? Write it down. Is he telling the truth or just the usual? That's all. So when did you sign the contract?
January 17th.
When were you captured?
Between May 25th and 26th. Something like that.
Uh-huh. Which one? Which unit did you join?
35th Aleisk Brigade.
What was your role there? Assault trooper. How many combat missions did you have? In total?
4.
Go ahead, tell me. When was the first one? What happened there? What happened next? About everything.
Our first mission was when we were deployed to Novogrodovka.
Huh. When? Well, roughly.
In March.
Huh. What were you doing before March?
Before March, we were in training. We were being trained.
Got it? Okay. How many of you were sent in? And how did it all turn out?
The whole company was deployed.
Those 60 people, right?
Yes.
Got it?
The whole company was deployed. One of us was stationed a bit closer to the front. They were supposed to let us know if Ukrainian forces were getting close to us or not. And the others were stationed elsewhere.
Wait a moment. I'll turn off the fan.
The rest were supposed to hold their positions beyond the suburb, in the dugouts. We had to wait because we received information that on the outskirts of Monograd, Ukrainian forces had amassed a huge army of about 5,000, and they were supposed to break through to Novogrodovka and hold it, take the city, and then attempt to assault Selidovo.
And they sent you there like the 9th company to stop everyone, right?
Yes.
60 people were supposed to stop a 5,000 strong army.
That's how it was.
What did you say?
What were we supposed to say?
Yes, that's correct. And we'll be dying.
No one asked us what we thought.
Well, and then what?
We held our positions, stood there, waiting for orders. A few times we got false alarms, and that was it. We stood there for about 1 month and 15 days.
Since March?
Until Easter. On the 45th day, I was already wounded and taken out.
How many of you were left after those 45 days?
That's all.
So everyone made it out alive?
Everyone was alive at that point.
And were you attacked or not? No, it seems not.
No, we weren't stormed.
Well, I see. Did they replace you?
Yes.
Did you have food and water at your positions for all 45 days?
Not always. At first, we managed with what we had in our backpacks. And we met with nearby allies who were around us. And so to speak, when times were tough for us, they would give us food. When they were having a tough time, we would give them food.
Uh-huh.
So that's how we exchanged. Our unit wasn't prepared for a long-term situation, so to speak, to make deliveries for us. Because mainly, as our platoon leader said, our maximum mission lasts a week. Whatever you take in your backpack lasts for a week. He lied.
It seems so. Or not. In short, you were starving.
Yeah, we did go hungry a bit.
Come on, tell the truth, not just a little.
We didn't even know we were going on defense. Our unit wasn't specialized in defense.
There were guys here who talked about, you know it yourself, drinking urine and eating human flesh.
We didn't eat human flesh, but we did drink water from puddles, just like we made porridge from puddle water, for example.
See, what a beginning. There wasn't always enough food, and then we drank from puddles. Right?
Well, it's true, there wasn't always enough.
Makes sense.
Because at first we got by with what we took.
I see. You ate everything a week?
Yes.
What did you eat after that?
After that, roughly speaking, we just found stuff. In the remnants of houses that were there. Porridge, jam, just anything.
You were looting quite hard.
That's what we ate. We ate that.
Did you put anything there so you could take it out later? So, who are you then? Liberator of cellars, preserves?
I guess so.
You're a looter. And if there was nothing there?
We would have starved to death.
Setup. It's bad that you found food you didn't put there. So you basically just looted for a month with what you found.
No, we only did that for 1 week.
And then?
Then we started getting supplies, evacuation started bringing us food, and we also got some from the neighboring unit.
So basically you were like vagrants in the liberating army.
You could say that we scrounged, took what they had and what they could give us.
Alright. The combat mission ended. They replaced you. When was the second mission?
The second mission happened a week later. We went back to Novogrodovka, but this time we were supposed to go to Lysovka.
Got it.
We didn't make it to Lysovka because we were ordered to fall back because a leopard showed up there and was firing straight through everything. We tried to bypass the spoil tip, but couldn't break through. And where there were paths, there was a swarm of drones, making it impossible to pass. And we were ordered to fully retreat. We retreated. Our mission lasted no more than 4 days. Basically, as it turned out, they were holding us back just to throw us into Kotlyarovka. We were supposed to go there. Our third combat mission was already at Kotlyarovka. By then, the whole company, or what was left of it, was 15 severely wounded.
How long did it take for you guys to get wiped out there?
A day.
What was it like?
At first,
Well, it's a decent crowd, 60 people going in.
we were sent in turns, platoon by platoon.
30 people each? 20?
No fewer. There were 12 of us in a platoon. The rest were BMP crews and evac, that's it. We were sent in groups of 12. The first platoon went in. Those were convicts going in first. They were, let's say, luckier. Even though they went first, they ended up with 2 were Kia. The rest were severely wounded. Then the second platoon went in. They were led along a different route. That route wasn't any better either. They encountered a machine gunner. Only 2 of them survived. The rest were killed in action. and it was our third platoon's turn. We were supposed to take the same route as the prisoners, but we had to go under ponchos. They went during the day, we went at night. It was raining and foggy. Well,
The poncho didn't help.
it didn't work because a unit from a neighboring platoon joined us. They came right up to us, and the drones lifted off and hit everyone there hard, wounding us all with several strikes at once. And then they started hitting that spot. The mortars started firing on that spot, and then another swarm of drones flew in even further. Then Baba Yaga came, and no time, there was no one left.
Were all the bodies lying there?
All were dead. Only those who stayed behind survived.
Right.
Because
Then the third platoon.
the fourth platoon, that was already. At that point, they were going in right after us. I was still listening to the radio then. They went the same way we did, but they went during the day. I heard they ran into an ambush there. They were already taken out there. The sabotage group, and that's it. And what happened next to them, the rest. I can't say. The radio didn't reach there.
What happened next?
Next.
So, I take it none of you guys got in. They got everyone on the way?
Yes. Some were taken out even earlier, before they went there.
Is it good or bad that they were all killed?
Of course it's bad.
Why?
These people were, let's say, my battle comrades. I ate from the same plate with them, so to speak. That's how I see it.
And from another perspective?
From another perspective. Well, we knew why we were going. We knew we were going to war. We knew what could happen to us and the possible outcome.
So you clearly understood that you were going to occupy another country. Am I saying everything correctly in Russian? Did you ever meet even one Ukrainian who said thank you to you? Vladik, thank you for coming. We lived here, and you decided to free us from our basements, our homes, our electricity.
No, I never met any civilians.
And where do you think they all are?
Well, at the first point we were at, there were civilians. They were living in the church and in the remaining houses.
Did you talk to them?
No. Friends from our squad who went there got information that in the church there is a kitchen, and you can go there once a week to get some bread. They bring food there. They bake bread. That's all. They went there and were surprised, saying, there are civilians walking around. They were like, I asked, how come? Weren't they evacuated? They said, no, they're there, baking bread and making pastries. What do you mean? Yes, literally.
And what did you do?
What were we supposed to do? Well, the guys took some bread and that's it, and left.
Do you think they wanted to give you bread? I mean, when a bunch of hungry bums with assault rifles show up, point their guns and say, give us bread. And you're the one who baked that bread. Do you have an option not to give it?
No, of course not.
So, who are you? Vladik, do you understand the situation? It's really bad that only 35 of your colleagues, as you call them, people with whom I had brotherly relations, it's just that so few of them got killed. He sincerely doesn't understand what's happening. I'll kill you. If you survive this war, I'll kill you. I bet.
What's the point in arguing? You have all the data on me and more.
That's clear.
At any moment, you can come and do what you want.
Yes, that's how it will be, Vladik. If after the exchange you end up in the war, it will be really interesting. If you get captured a second time, it will be an amusing captivity, I promise you. But if by some miracle you dodge the war and get home, I'll find you. Or rather, some neighbor will find you. from your home. For 200,000 rubles, it will just make you a vegetable.
Through door.
Do you think it'll work?
Of course, it will. As I said, all the data is available where I live.
Yes, we have all the data on all of you.
How I look and more.
We have everything about you, absolutely everything. The military has the data. But given that you are sincere, as I call it, you've touched my soul. I'll note you down. I have a file in my notes. I recommend looking over your shoulder for life. Well, in the evenings probably. Well, I don't know how it will happen. Rather, killing you is not an option because it's too easy. But making you a vegetable would be interesting. How does that feel? I didn't invite you here.
Frightened.
I don't care if you're scared or not. I fully understand how you feel. No one invited you here.
Yes.
So, as a serious man once said, we'll find you all and punish you. Do you know what Israel did for a long and tedious time after the war? And what was he doing?
They hunted for war criminals and tracked them down in the countries where they were hiding.
Not necessarily extracted.
And they dragged them back home and judged them in various ways.
That's one option. But mostly they dealt with other matters. Light 200s, no matter the country. Considering that your country is an outcast, you're not going anywhere beyond your little backwater. So, in short, it will be interesting. And yes, what happened next?
Then it was already the 4th combat deployment. Yes. They gathered all the survivors. They transferred us to another company, gathered those who survived and could still stand. And they moved us to another company, one that was just holding the lines.
And sent to Sochi.
And threw us into Nikolaevka.
Again, not Sochi. Have you ever been to the sea?
Yes.
Where?
In Anapa.
When were you?
In 2024.
Хорошо.
They sent us to Nikolaevka. 2 small groups. We were supposed to be there. Set up defensive positions. And to the guys who were still there. From our neighboring companies to deliver supplies.
Uh-huh.
The mission was not completed. A reconnaissance drone found us. But as it turned out, that area was already fully under Ukrainian forces. And they wanted to deploy their command post there. I gathered, or something like that, to expand. There was a small landing area where we were supposed to settle in. But we were warned that Ukrainian troops were already there and how we would sit there with them. Face to face, you'd have to think about it. And as soon as we started approaching that area, a reconnaissance drone spotted us, and my partner, his nerves gave out as it hovered over him, and he ran. In the end, he was pinned him down. To what exactly? I don't know. They eventually pinned him and made about 17 drops on him.
Was he some kind of bulletproof?
I don't know. I know they made 8 drops on him. Then I heard automatic gunfire from his side. He tried to shoot down the drone. Then they made 2 more drops on him. He was shooting something with the automatic again. And then they made the remaining drops on him. And I didn't hear any more gunfire. I carefully pulled up the hood of my poncho. I looked, and the drone had flown away. I hid nearby by a burrow. I stayed there for a while, catching my breath, because we were on a very large open space. They could have easily spotted me, but they didn't. I quickly ran there as soon as the drone left, caught my breath, and in an hour, they started covering the area with drops. And they were slowly getting to me. They pierced my backpack along with the radio, and I completely lost communication with command. I ran into the burrow, and after a while, they began shelling it with mortars, grenade launchers, everything they had. I didn't come out, didn't poke my head out. Through the opening. Through an opening that had formed there after all the shelling, they tossed in some kind of stun grenade. I'm not sure what exactly. But it suddenly made me feel really sick. There was a loud ringing in my ears and my head started spinning. I crawled out of that hole and then I started to slowly take off my vest because I started feeling nauseous. For some reason, I was short of breath. It was hard for me. And that's it. I take off the vest, I'm nauseous, I feel bad. I fall to my side and I hear a drone buzzing above me. And it says, "Don't move." It starts repeating, "Don't move." And that's it. I don't move, and Ukrainian soldiers come up to me and capture me.
Who captured you?
The 38th Marine Brigade.
Marines. Respect and admiration. Would you have blown yourself up, as the commander said, if you had the chance?
I had thoughts about it. I still have them.
Well,
I was hesitating. In fact, in my mind, my family flashed and the thought that with me, because I was born in Donetsk. Well, they would, I don't know, make me a complete vegetable or something like that.
everything is ahead of you.
I don't know. I do. Such moments in my mind. Yeah. Could do it.
I confirmed what I wanted to confirm for myself. Totally nuts. Crucified, so to speak. So let us know in the comments if we should make things interesting for him or not. No need to donate to this story. For now, we manage on our own. Come on, you just swallowed your saliva. When is it your turn for torture? Will there be more today?
Of course not.
Have they already done it?
There weren't any.
We'll adjust.
And that's it.
All right, I got it.
They took me.
I know the 38th Brigade. Great guys, therefore. Vladik. Considering that Vladik doesn't want to call.
No.
Vladislav doesn't want to call because of his loved ones and his wife. Traditionally, our POW can reach out to his own if he wants. To his people, well, reach out to someone. Should one go to war? Should one not go to war? Should one go looking for NATO soldiers? Should one not go looking for NATO soldiers? What should one take with them? Take panties, $100. What else to take? If he wants. If he doesn't want to, he says nothing.
I'll put it simply. It's better to just stay with your families. That's all.